What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into NYJ today. We are happy to see you guys. Got a pitcher of beer here.
Hey,
ready to drink. Cheers
Boom.
to you.
Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you guys are getting through your weeks all right. Some probably think it's a little slow. I think it's been slow, so I'm ready for the weekend to get here.
Yes, it needs to get here quick. We got a new member in the chat, so get your glass in your hand again, sir. Where's that chat? There it is. Raf. Welcome to the chat, sir. We are happy to have you here.
What's going on, man?
So Raf is actually one of our voicemails, and we don't really need to spend too much time with the introduction because the show is the show. Just real quick, if you are new here, we would love for you guys to consider checking out our other content. We've got draft profiles. We've got free agency profiles. There was a predictions video that I made as well. So if you're into the off season, I am the off season right here. I'm going to be continuing to load videos every weekend. So check out our stuff, and we hope you stay a while because we are ready to talk Jets. So we've got voicemails tonight. It's a new feature for the show. I'm not going to delay here. Our first caller is going to be Jason.
Let's do it.
Hey.
Oops, sorry. Hit the button too many times.
Hey, it's Jason from Indiana. And unless there's a Manning in the draft, we shouldn't be taking a quarterback in the first with our first pick.
Listen.
But you already knew that coming from me.
And that's the end of the call. Jason Rhodes, appreciate you calling the show. You are the first voicemail on the channel, so cheers, Jason Rhodes, to you. Also, cheers to also Raf, who is new to the show. Sorry, that was a little loud.
Man, you are DJing it up.
Let's try that one more time. Not as painful.
You just blew out like 5 eardrums.
Yep. Robbie Oaks got his beer. What's up, man? Great to see you tonight.
Hey, Robbie, you always stimulate the chat. I'm looking forward to seeing it roll down the screen.
Yes, please do fill it up. We do love talking with you guys. Rafa says, I just saw Chris Sims' critique on Wilson, and he said it's a combination of Mahomes and Rodgers. Unbelievable. Yes, that video that he did came out a while ago, like a week or so ago. And yes, drawing serious comparisons in their mechanics, the way he's talented and can throw off platform and really throws it with a lot of velocity. It's rare, and he can run, too.
So time is running out for Sam to go. So I think they don't trade Sam, then we're not taking quarterback.
I think they will trade him. I think the Jets are going to trade him probably next week or the week after. That's my prediction.
If that happens, I'll be the happiest person. I will say
they will trade him.
We both agree that they will not bring a quarterback into competition with Sam. That would be stupid.
They can't do that to Sam Darnold. We've been over that on the channel. Right. We cannot keep Sam Darnold and draft a quarterback. Anybody out there that's still saying that, please get your head examined. They will not do that. That's just not going to happen. So, to get to Jason Rhodes' voicemail, though, do want to say I don't agree with his take. So, Jason, yes, we do need to be careful in who we select at quarterback, but we have the number 2 overall pick, and there are some really good, talented quarterbacks in this draft. Like, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. These are guys that would go high in most drafts. It's not like this year is such a bad draft class.
I know that there's some communities that call them hype beasts. There's others that call them ego runners. But some people only really believe in the big names or those coming out of school with such hype, such kind of prestige. Reggie Bush, I don't know. I was going to say Tim Tebow, but that's a bad one. Manning.
I know where you're going with this.
So there is a sector that says, Jets have had this evolving and never-ending rotation of quarterbacks, coming into the league either from the draft or free agency, and they just never pan out. They're never long-term, and I think that that there's those who believe the only way you get someone like a Tom Brady is if you invest in a big name, whatever that name is. In this case, in this year's draft, it's Trevor Lawrence, right? And there's articles that you read, that you guys read, that said maybe Trevor isn't the best quarterback in the drafts. You know,
Not many people, but some people.
There is those kind of conspiracy theorists who think that, but I just think that I can relate to that because I actually have people in my own family who probably would say something like that. It has to be a Manning, a Montana, or whatever, you know, for them to really believe in that pick.
Right, but I don't know if you're going there with this. If you don't mind, can I just throw it real quick? Because I know what you're talking about. So Deshaun Watson was the 12th overall pick in the NFL draft. We're picking 2.
Yeah.
We should be able to find a quarterback and hit on a quarterback. That's what the Jets literally have to do with this decision, is they have to get the quarterback position right.
I think it's just a bad taste in our mouths from Darnold, because Darnold was supposed to be that.
I know. But again, it's just too doggone risky. And I think that's the part, where I will agree with Jason. It's really risky. You can't really deny the fact that the Jets spending a 2nd overall pick on a QB isn't risky. It's definitely risky, but it's the risk you have to take.
I was just thinking,
you got to swing.
But here's my thing about that. And then I'm going to look to you to just reaffirm Trevor's stats. But if you were to compare Trevor's stats to Zach's, what's
we got straight fire.
Oh, nice. But let me finish this.
That's good. Point. You're good.
If you compare Trevor's stats to Zach's stats, should we be as scared as we are? If you didn't have all the hype of the media, the different sources and all that, if you just compared the stats, should we be feeling this scared of taking a quarterback?
I'm nervous to take a quarterback.
I know, but
it makes me nervous.
But if you looked at the stats of both of them, I don't know. I think if you looked at Zach's stats, we probably would say to each other, maybe we don't need to be that worried because his stats aren't that.
His stats
different,
were good.
Right?
His stats were very good, but he was playing a division of college.
True. That's good. That's good.
So I'm not saying that Zach Wilson will not do a really good job when he comes to the NFL. I just say that it is something that you don't discredit him, but you can just say that he played in a weaker conference of football.
That was one piece I wasn't thinking of. So good point.
Yeah. But again, it's not a huge knock because we've seen quarterbacks and players all throughout the NFL. Jerry Rice was drafted out of Mississippi State Valley or something like that, I think.
True.
It's a no-name school. There's nobody coming out of there. And Jerry Rice came from there. So I've never been one to really concern myself with where quarterback played. Can you play? Yeah. Can you throw the football? Can you read defenses? And can you make good decisions? I see a lot. So another thing about Zach Wilson, because I'm pretty excited about the man. Zach Wilson... he actually gets the ball out pretty quickly. He seems like a good timing rhythm thrower.
He does. I'll give you that.
I saw some cut-ups of somebody showing this footage of him where I guess the knock was that he wasn't facing any pressure, which is a little bit true. There were a lot of plays where he had lots of protection, but on the plays that he was being pressured, he made big plays.
No.
Big plays with his legs, with his arm.
He's got both weapons.
He can do it all. Straight fire, yes. I agree. Wilson is the quarterback. He should be the quarterback. Just watch the talent. Don't worry about the competition so much.
Straight fire, man. What's going on, man?
Great to have you here. So this is Schlong, 1990. But this dude, I think, may have been my first subscriber, for real.
Schlong?
One of the first, probably in the top 20 or 30. So, Schlong, it is awesome to have you. And like he said, hey guys, greetings from Germany. Often see that some take Lance over Fields. What do you think about him? Trey Lance over Fields. I'm worried about that because Lance is super talented. Do you want to go first? I got a lot to say.
No, you go, man.
So Trey Lance played one full season of college football and one game after that. He had this game in the 2021 season where he just had one game. It was called a showcasing. And in that game he didn't play great, but that's not really the knock. The knock is he's only played one full season in the other game.
Yeah.
And in that season where he played every game,
he didn't throw an interception.
Not one. And I get it, super freaking talented, really good athlete, exceptional athlete. And actually, he's pretty good at play action passing. Well, when he puts the ball out and fakes it to the running back.
What was his total yardage for that season?
He had a lot. I don't know his yardage specifically off the top of my head.
But just tell me this without the exact number. was it something where not throwing interception was just due to not throwing the ball that much?
No. He's a dual threat, so that's what I think more than even Justin Fields. I think that Trey Lance is a complete dual threat, kind of like a Lamar Jackson. Like he reminds me of Lamar a little bit. Not as fast. Relax, but he's fast. Holy moly, Trey Lance can fly, dude. He can fly, and Justin Fields can fly too.
Apparently, you haven't seen that one clip of Sam Darnold streaking up the field.
He can run too. Not like that though. Not consistently. Those guys probably will be able to though.
Oh, Trey? For sure.
He's really fast. A little bit like Kaepernick, too. It kind of reminds me a little bit.
Well, I would say Trey Lance is faster than Mahomes.
Yes, he is. But Mahomes is super fast, too. All right, there's a lot of chat to get to, so let me go a little bit through this.
Come on, guys.
So, Grant Root says, just got here. Whatever you're saying is wrong, Mike.
Grant, you coming at me already? Coming in hot, man.
He never says the right thing. Never. I feel like any night I would just love to hear him say one thing that was correct. You know?
What?
Who do you want for quarterback? Right now, go. Wrong answer. Wrong answer.
I got to even answer.
Robbio, the only thing that makes me less nervous about quarterback at 2 is Wilson. Is the Chris Sims sell job. I don't know why that makes you nervous, though, Robbie Oak. Oh, you said less nervous. I apologize. I read that incorrectly. It makes you less nervous. Yes, Chris Sims is really good at identifying quarterbacks. He didn't just hit on Patrick Mahomes. That's obviously the big one. He said that he was his number 1 quarterback. But he's hit on a couple others, too. He's not just like a one-hit wonder.
Missed,
though. Everybody misses. There's nobody that's out there like hitting everything.
Wants to talk about the misses, though.
Yeah,
they don't want to talk about the hits.
He hit on Mahomes, so that's the point. What's up, Joe? We are happy to see you.
Joe!
Gotta study film, man. Wilson is a beast. Wilson is a beast. Did you hear him?
I heard him.
You gotta hit the film.
I'm just...
Gotta hit the film.
I'm not saying Wilson isn't a beast. I never said that. I'm saying...
You haven't watched enough is what we're saying.
I'm saying if we... I'm saying if we don't get rid of Sam and we're not going to do a competition, then we're not taking a quarterback. And I'm getting ready for that reality. Because
I'm going to say this right now.
The Jets do a great job of taking what should be no chance.
I'm going to call this Hot Take Wednesday. We will trade Darnold probably the week after we see Pro Day from Zach Wilson. I think that's when it's going to happen. This week after. So we have this 26th of March right now. Is that right?
For his Pro Day?
No, like the Pro Day, sorry.
Yes.
And it's the 24th. So I'm saying by either the end of the month or right at the beginning of April, he's traded. That's my prediction.
I think you're being too confident. I think you're being way too confident.
The Jets have told us that they were waiting for the Pro Days, or at least they gave that inclination they were going to evaluate these guys. That's why Joe Douglas didn't commit to Darnold.
I would just say reserve a portion of your psyche and sanity for the possibility where they don't.
I will be stunned. Jason Rhodes, I made it. You are on the show, sir.
Oh, we just talked about it. You just missed it.
No, that's all right. He'll be able to rewatch it.
Oh, true. Recording.
You guys all know I'm a Wilson guy all day. I think he's a star in the making. Joe, well done. Put that statement out there. I will call us both out when we get it wrong. Like Joe Burrow, yeah, when a guy gets it, he gets it. Okay, we got some side chat here. Mike equals fail. Laughing my fucking ass off. Oh, Grant Rude. Wrong!
Oh, man. I'm going to come through the screen.
Cliff Hopkins, quick question. What do we do as far as a backup QB when we trade Sam? Flacco is in Philly. What about Nick Mullins from San Francisco? Get the quarterback that was on that offense last year. He's a backup, and he can back up whoever we draft. And I think that would be just fine.
Yeah.
So CJ Beathard got signed. I don't remember which team signed him. But now Nick Mullins is still available, and I think the Jets will be able to get him very cheaply if they wanted him. I think maybe $3 million, $3 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. All right, so we're good on the chat. We've still got More voicemails. We have 2 more voicemails. That first voicemail was a little long. We got a little bit excited, so that's okay. All right, let me check my volume here. I don't want to blow your ears off. This is Chad.
Please. I want to be able to.
He has been on the chat before. Chad, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, this is Chad. I got a 2-part question for you. Actually, 2 questions. Now that the bulk of free agency is over, I'd like to get your take on how you think this impacts the draft, particularly at the interior O-line positions and the corner position.
Stupid
and
question.
then aside from that, I'd also like to get your take on what the Patriots did as far as free agency, because that's something that we've rarely, if ever, seen them do before. Thank you very much. Love the channel. See you guys.
Thank you, Chad, for the call. We appreciate that. Let's get to New England first, and then we'll talk
Nate
about...
in the channel. There's Nate in there. This is all for you, man.
Yeah. Go ahead. Talk about the Patriots. Because that's what he asked. How does this impact the Jets and the Patriots look like they're a better team than they were?
I've already been talking to you about this. That there has been many leaks or interpretations of what New England's doing as being the next coming of Christ. Apparently, in which case, I guess what they're saying is Jet fans prepare for another dynasty. I don't see it necessarily, but that's everything I'm seeing.
Beautiful comment in the chat. I have to read it. So Cliff Hopkins, we agree. Morgan cannot be the backup next year. That would be a mistake. Jason Rhodes, committing to Sam is like dating a stripper. No. Very funny.
Jason, that was really good.
That was a good one. Mario coin for you, but not on a million volume. Well done, sir.
I really think we've done harm tonight with that.
Rafa follows it up. I would date a stripper at least once.
Just to see what it's like.
Oh, man, just to see what it's like.
All
right, so Chad, the Patriots improved. The 2 tight end set thing is back. I mean, they fully invested
Anyone
in
ever
that.
watched Making a Murderer? You tune into New England. They got they're redoing their old ways. We'll get the video cameras back out. We'll just replay the whole from 2010, the last decade.
It feels like Belichick is just like, fuck it, I'll spend all your money and then I'll retire. I feel like he wants his Super Bowl. I feel like he wants his last Super Bowl. He wants to be like Brady.
Yeah, but Brady will always have the last laugh. He can't come back now and win the Super Bowl and then have any bragging rights.
Belichick needs to start winning, or else people are going to start being very critical of him.
In reality, though, he's got a much harder job. It's like the scale of that competition is drastically different. He's got to manage the whole team.
He's done a poor job in the draft. Terrible.
Please agree with me on that, right?
What?
Saying Brady against Belichick, who wins the Super Bowl first, Brady's got such an easier road. Because it's just him on the team versus Belichick has to manage the entire team.
He should have had a quarterback in place. That's on him.
I get that. That's his role and responsibility. But his role and responsibility, I think, from an administrative side, is much heavier than Brady and whether he throws a football.
Welcome to the chat, Jets Wire. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you in the chat.
What's up, man? Right? I gotta finish my point.
The Patriots are going to be good. I don't know if that's what you were talking about.
I'm just saying. I think that the comparison, the race.
He's going to have a good season. I think the Patriots will be solid this year. They weren't very good last year. They can.
I mean, I'm not saying
live call.
Are we doing live call?
Well, technically, I guess that's true. We can take a live call though. It's all right. We're never going to turn that one down. We'll do a live call, and then we will do the rest of our voicemails.
We're so distracted.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, okay. I sent the caller's voicemail. Goodbye.
Oh, I just sent you the voicemail. Whoops. Jets Wire. That was an accident. Call back and I'll answer you. Didn't mean to send you a voicemail. Did not mean that at all.
Publicly sent him the voicemail.
That was an accident.
Publicly.
This is a lose for me.
Yes.
All right.
Good self-accountability right there.
Yes. All right, we're going to go to the other part of Chad's question.
Man.
Chad's question was, how does this impact the cornerback and guard position?
Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to ask him.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's going on, man? How you doing? Welcome to NYJ Today.
What's going, man?
What's going on, man?
Not too much. Good to hear from you, bro.
Bro, I'm loving this free agency so far. It's not even over yet.
I think people are down on it, and I'm glad that you're calling in to kind of give a change of the topic here because I think free agency's been really good.
I know, man. I have a big question for you. What's your favorite signing out of every free agent we have?
Great question, dude. I'll let you go first, and then I'll answer. I want you to talk.
All right, bro. I'm still unsure, but I really have to go with Corey Davis here. It's either Corey Davis or Carl Lawson. I love both, but I think I'm going to go with Corey Davis.
Dude, did you watch his press conference?
Bro, yeah, I did. But, bro, you really can't listen to that, bro. What do you want him? What do you want him to say? I don't like my quarterback. Like, I don't think we keep Sandman, but, like, if we do, then you know what's going to happen then? So.
Dude, they are not going to keep. They are not keeping Sam Darnold. There's no way.
Because of that?
How would it listen, man? Like, I still believe in him. And the thing is, I like Sam, but I kind of think Wilson and Fields are more valuable than him, especially Wilson.
I agree, and I think even Fields, you could make the case that Fields is pretty damn talented in this draft. I mean, he's pretty legit.
Listen, man, I'm not saying that Darnold, he's no good. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if you look at these prospects, they're much better prospects compared to him when he still played at USC.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Darnold, I've been tweeting about it all week. He was, like, killing it with the turnovers in college. He was throwing picks everywhere, fumbling everywhere.
These turnover problems were still a problem with him in college.
Exactly.
Listen, man, I know he threw a lot of touchdowns and yards in college, but the turnover problem with him was still there.
Yep. Nope. It existed from day one. It was never a non-issue for him. It was always an issue. It's always been a problem.
I know, but like the issue that he had with the Jets was he wasn't even doing anything at all.
Yep.
Like not anything.
Yep. No, I know. It was not.
No nothing.
And he was injury prone.
And listen, man, we can make a million excuses for Sam. The team was terrible last year.
I know.
And here's the thing, now that does not excuse.
Not enough talent and stuff like that.
But that doesn't excuse it, though. That does not excuse Darnold from playing that poor.
Yeah, exactly, man. You can't always excuse his mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
If he makes this, bro, like say this, bro. This is Sam Darnold. Listen to me, man. Okay, so obviously every play there's a certain guy you got to go to. You really do not. Like say this. Okay, he'll say the guy that he's supposed to throw to isn't open. He'll look at two other guys and go right back to them.
I know.
Yeah, his eyes are a real
That's
problem.
literally what he does.
Yeah.
It's a great point to put out. Go ahead.
He looks away from them and comes right back to them.
My thing is, with the talk of Sam running it back again, was never about the fact that we excused it. It was more of the fact is, if we weren't getting Trevor, was it worth at the time? This is now early into offseason, but when we knew we weren't getting Trevor, was it really worth drafting a quarterback? So I don't think, with the talk,
I think it's totally worth drafting Zach Wilson. I think it is.
Oh, no, I totally agree. But I'm just saying, anyone who talks, or the community of the Jets fans who talk about running it back with Sam, I don't think that means that they're excusing or giving him excuses. I just think they're trying to weigh what's the lesser of two evils kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and listen, man, if he plays like crap next year, that's bad.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
I understand you could be able to get another quarterback in here, but guess what? Next year's draft class isn't that good with quarterbacks.
Oh, man. Sorry, I was reading the comments. Jason Rhodes said, keeping Sam is like catching the crabs, then saying it's not that bad. All right, bro. Listen, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna keep our show rolling. Thank you so much for calling, bro.
No problem, man. I'll talk to you next time.
Dude, light it up. Have a good one, man. Thank you so much for the call, Jets Wire. We love the calls. We're never gonna say no. At least I don't think we will.
We were we're gonna try the voicemails out.
Yeah, we like the voicemails. It's a mixture. I think we like a mixed bag. So I don't know. I don't know how we'll do that.
Bouncer. I'm like the bouncer. So I look to you and I'm like, hey, do I let this guy in? And then you give me the nod and you go yeah.
Dean is new to the channel. Dean, welcome to the channel, bro. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna give you a little Mario coin there.
What's up, man?
Thank you for coming in. Yep, we're enjoying this. This is it's so much fun. I can't really describe it any other way, really. It's a ton of fun.
Especially for a Wednesday.
We are going to hit up our last voicemail. Chad did talk about the guard. Sorry, I want to hit that because I don't want to ignore it. Guard and cornerback.
It's been so long ago, I can't even remember what this
I'll hit it real
is.
quick. Guard, we can hit at 34. I really hope we can get a cornerback at 23. And I think that's why we shouldn't be worried about how free agency played out. I think we'll be able to land on both of those positions. All right, let's see here. We were talking about that, and now we got this. Sorry, I apologize. Last one here. This is from Raphael from Jersey City.
New member.
Yes, hi. This is Raphael from New Jersey. I have a question. What if the Jets move back, accumulate draft picks, and they draft Mac Jones? I mean, he can throw the ball 60, 65 yards in the air. Very accurate. Probably has a better arm than Sam. Moves around in the pocket. Can run if he has to. Has broken some NCAA records, college, school records. I think he's a safer pick than Zach Wilson, who hasn't seen, anything as far as the defense is concerned, hasn't been hit. His first hit, and I'm afraid they're going to break him. So, what do you think? Let me know, and I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
That's a great phone call.
Whew,
Thank you very much for the phone call. Thank you for the voicemail.
Now, there was someone else in chat, Dean, right? It's Dean, right? 31395.
I'm not sure.
Well, it's right there. Oh.
Good stuff, keep grinding.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the comment, but the voicemail was from who?
That was from Raphael.
Okay, yeah. So I just think that's I think that's a really interesting perspective to have. And there was someone else in chat who was talking about Mac Jones last week, and I can't remember who it was. But someone else was talking about Mac Jones and that we should be looking at that name. And I actually think it's an interesting point. It all depends on me. My answer to that is it depends on what we get for the trade.
That would be the only scenario where I would be excited about us drafting him, I think, is if we traded back not terribly far, because I think he's going to go pretty early, actually. I think he's going to go in the top. Yeah, I think he's going to go probably like top 10, top 15. I don't think he's going to fall much further than that. There's going to be some desperate teams out there.
I'll tell you this. Here's
Joe, he looks terrible in a uniform. He does look weird in his uniform, doesn't he? Yeah. It's like, it literally just looks like he's like a bag of bones.
Yeah.
I know he's not skinny.
Whoever fitted him needs to be.
He just looks funny in his uni. I agree. Sorry, go ahead. Mac Jones. It was a funny comment.
I was going to say, is there a possibility that Mac beats Fields?
Mac beats Fields.
Like moves, like Fields drops.
Some people think Fields might drop a little bit, but I don't think
that's all I'm seeing.
I don't think Fields isn't falling out of the top 8. The Panthers would snag him up faster than they could blink.
I think he'd be great with the Panthers.
He would be a tremendous fit. It would be like Cam Newton again, but I think that Fields is a better passer.
Yeah.
Although Cam Newton, when he came in, he was a pretty good thrower of the football himself.
Yeah,
I think when he first started, whew,
it was like a laser too.
He had a very strong arm, and it's really sad to see him deteriorate over the years because he's not the same that he once was.
No. He was so big.
Yes. All right, Rafa. I will say, as far as Mac Jones, they just need to get really heavily compensated. I don't want to trade back and not get at least a first.
What would you want?
I would want.
That's what he wants us to talk about.
I would want a first-round pick for this year. Obviously, I don't want to just lose the pick. And I want a first next year and another couple of picks. Like I want to build for the future. I want to continue stockpiling draft picks. I think that is the way to build the team.
You want something other than the first round pick in the draft for this year's draft.
I want the first this year and I want the first next year to move back.
I want the first this year and the first next year, but I also want like a second or third this year.
Right. I'm saying it would have to be a mixture of things.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be those two first rounders.
I don't want to get the benefit all next year. That would suck.
I want a desperate team. That's what I want. There are teams that might be desperate in this draft.
Oh, for sure.
So we'll see.
Especially with the cap.
Yes, it is. That's the thing with these QBs. When you can trade up and get your quarterback, you've basically got 4 years of a cheap QB.
Or a potential superstar.
And that's why I think the Jets are definitely going to move on. Like, I think people need to realize that. Like, that's one of the biggest benefits to this whole thing is, like, yeah, Darnold might work out, and he is a good dude, but it's way riskier because we have to pay him more money. And by just taking a quarterback or two, we're resetting that position. We have another 4 years of cheap QB play.
How much? What was the size of his contract? Well, no, because he's still on his rookie contract.
Darnold?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If let's say he played good, they're going to re-sign him for $20 million plus?
No. But we knew this would be his last year. If we didn't take a quarterback this year, and we were going to run it back, then we knew we were taking a quarterback next year.
The point is we can be saving money at the QB position by just drafting one and letting him go.
I totally agree with that.
I think that's what they'll do.
Agree with that.
All right. So Graham Rood says, fuck. I'm agreeing with Mike's 2 firsts plus a second take. Yes. Give us all the picks, baby. I'm not against that at all.
Man. Unite the clans.
All right. We've hit our voicemails. We are going to go to the next segment.
How long did that take us to go through those damn voicemails?
Well, listen, man. The chat's been good.
That's because it's been such a electric night with chat. I got Grant Rood agreeing with me. Hell just froze over, so we're doing pretty good for Wednesday.
We're going to just talk a little bit about Keelan Cole. We're not going to spend terribly a long time, hopefully, on these guys. I know that these are not necessarily names as exciting as the first week of free agency, so I'll just kind of read over a couple of my notes. If you want to say anything in the chat, feel free to blow it up. I'm pretty excited about Keelan Cole. So he's appeared.
I'm very excited.
He's appeared in 64 football games, and I don't think he's missed a game. He's played 16 out of 16.
You're right.
Or, I'm sorry, not 16 out of 16. He's played 16 games for the last 4 years of his career. That's pretty good. Started 23 of those games. I think he's an outstanding wide receiver 4 for this team. You got Jamison Crowder still, Denzel Mims, Corey Davis, and now he's wide receiver 4.
Can play slot or wide out.
Yeah. And this is a dude that had 55 catches, 642 yards, and 5 touchdowns last season.
I love it, man.
That's good production for a wide receiver 4.
For $5.5 million?
Right.
I'll do that every day.
Yeah, it's a good signing. And he's only
I love
27 years old and 1 year deal, like you said, 5.5.
I
So,
love it.
yeah. And when you can.
What else to say? I think it's great that he flew under the radar.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, I heard there was a lot of attention on him once he hit the market, but no one really picked up on him because Galladay and Juju were still available. So I think it's a fantastic move on Joe D. I love it. I'm totally good with it.
Yep. And I'll just add, like, you have to consider he was on a bad football team. I think that's why teams were like, oh, like they didn't pay
Get
attention.
Trevor Lawrence. It tells you they beat us out.
55 catches is nothing to sneeze at.
No, I mean I do agree with Jacksonville that Marvin Jones was better.
I don't know about that though. Marvin Jones earlier in his career, sure, he was better than Keelan.
Well, they were the ones that he was the one they kept.
That's crazy. I would have kept Cole because he's. I
I
think that would have been a really good connection.
I mean, I'm not. Well, when I said that, I'm not saying
Lawrence and Cole could have been nasty.
I'm not saying that Cole wasn't bad. I think he's a great number 2 wide receiver potentially.
I don't think 2, but definitely like no worse than a 3. I don't think.
Right, and we had Corey at 2 at best. Corey's going to be our number 2. You think he's going to be the number 1 receiver?
I do. Corey Davis will be number 1.
I think Denzel Mims blossoms this year. I really do.
He will.
I think he becomes the official number 1 for the
I don't think that's why they drafted him.
To be the number 1?
I think they drafted Mims to be 2. I think that was the intent. They weren't saying to themselves, this is going to be our best wide receiver for the next decade. Like they might have thought that, but I don't know. I think Corey Davis is an underrated signing. I think he's going to be fantastic. Actually, Jets Wire official asked me earlier, which free agent did you like best? I don't even know if I got to answer it. I think Corey Davis is my favorite, actually. I love the Corey Davis signing.
Awesome.
Corey Davis is a good dude, too. Like, his brother played for the Jets, but his older brother, and he died. And he was talking about how it motivates him. And like,
no, that's good. No, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I've talked to you about this. Justin Hardy, really, I loved his press conference.
Justin Hardy was awesome. Yep, that was last week's time. I wish that he had done his press conference I wish we had done his press conference before our stream because I feel like
that would be great.
Yeah, I could have really he was awesome. Talking about how he's
like I'm trying to feed my son.
This is my heart. I don't know if you can see it. Pointing to his chest, just awesome. The guy was so fired up in his press conference. He said I'm a maniac on the field.
And I showed you that video where he burned the Buccaneers player down the field, or it wasn't the 49ers, can't remember.
Rafa with a comment. He says Cole can also run back punts. He did. He had a touchdown as a punt returner, I think, against the Packers. Pretty sure it was against the Packers. He had a punt return touchdown. So, yeah, our punt return game has been non-existent for years. Oh, we need good players. That's all I know.
Since Santana Moss.
Welcome to the chat, Red Sports. We are happy to see you. Agree with Grant on Fields. He's got to learn. He doesn't always need to hit a home run. Good. That's good. And Red Sports he's been defending him all offseason, Fields. True. So I do give you credit for that. There's nothing wrong with people how I disagree. I actually respect people who disagree and then agree we don't see eye to eye. That's one of my favorite things to do on Twitter is just to go at each other and then just be it's all good. We disagree.
We do that sometimes.
So I'm cool with it. Are we seriously talking about trade down for Jones when you have Wilson and Fields there too? Everybody is smoking something. All right, so listen, man. I didn't say I'd do it. I said that if they were going to do it, they would need to be heavily compensated.
In another universe.
We are not jazzed up about Mac Jones. That's not what we're not excited about him. We're excited about Wilson. He is our quarterback of the future. That's what we all want. Oh, yeah, Schlong. He says, worst signing is Mr. Mustache Feeney. Hope we will not see him once he's on the field. I would agree, sir. I do not want to see Dan Feeney in the lineup. That would be a mistake. I got nothing else on Cole. You good to move?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's hit it. I can hit the right button. That would be nice. There we go. We got free safety Lamarcus Joyner. He is our third topic of the night. And Lamarcus Joyner, I have some notes. It just says he had his best season in 2017 with the Rams. I believe that was the year they went to the Super Bowl. And he had 3 interceptions and scored a touchdown on one of them.
He's had 2 rough seasons, though.
Oh, no, we're going to talk. I have that on my notes.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. This is perfect.
I'm not fazed by this. I mean, I'm not. I think it's great that we solidified the secondary, or we invested in the secondary. I wouldn't say solidified. We needed a corner. But I think this was Robert Saleh coming in and saying, why put him at corner when he's so much better at safety?
Right, they had him at slot corner.
Yeah, man to man, he was getting burned.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're talking about 41st overall pick. He's not a slouch.
Right.
So it's obviously a fit or a positional-based problem, not a talent-based problem.
Right.
And so I think Robert was like, you guys are idiots. You're not using them the right way. Give them to me. I'll use them the right way. So that's what this screams. I mean, 1 year for $4.5 million.
Joyner, I think,
love it. I'm okay with it. I mean, I don't know if there's a counter argument to that, but I'm good with it.
There's a chance that Joyner starts. He might start over Ashton Davis. That's going to be a competition, I think.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why Ashton Davis should be handed the job, and I don't really see why a 30-year-old should be handed the job. He should have to keep his job.
I agree. Totally.
So I think that's one of the benefits of Lamarcus Joyner. I think he does push Ashton Davis. He needs to perform, and he needs to be knowing what he's doing on the field. He can't just play just because he was drafted, in the 3rd round or whatever it was. I believe it was 3rd round. I just think that it would be a mistake to not push him this offseason. It's the 2nd year now, and he needs to get better. So, yeah, Grant Rude said, I love the Joyner signing. He's getting old, but he's a great vet, presence at a position of need. He is 30. I think I mentioned that already. I would agree. So he reminds me a little bit of Bradley McDougald in the sense that he was never a star safety, safety, but also getting a little bit older too. He's 30. We got straight fire. I can't turn this one. Missed call. What happened? I'm not. You gotta call us back, man.
Back, man.
Yeah, give us a call. We're ready for you.
I think he's gonna come at me.
So, I just think that it was a smart move because you're pushing Ashton Davis. You're giving him competition. You're getting somebody that is coming from a position where he shouldn't have been playing.
No, he's getting buried, man.
Yeah.
What were they doing?
Yeah, and he wasn't performing. He wasn't doing anything.
I mean, Chucky should know better, man.
Yeah, Chucky's having that team could be in trouble this coming season.
How much did they pay him? $100 million, I think. The coach.
10 years, $100 million, I think. Whew.
Man, can you imagine?
Yeah.
You know how happy he was that night? He was like,
Very happy.
I just robbed the block.
John Gruden, I think they lost 2 of their starting offensive linemen this offseason.
Oh, he's gutting the team.
That's Mayock, too. Mayock's right on that ship.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Mayock's at that helm of that thing.
I can't believe that.
They're going to go down together. It's going to be like Titanic. One's going to be playing the cello, one's going to be playing the violin.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Don't leave me, Jack. Let's go, chat.
Busted Knuckles comes in and says, the Jets are going to be running a variation of the 4-2-5. We need the extra free safety. Yes, 3 safeties on the field is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with 3 safeties. I mean, if they could throw all 3 out there on a lot of plays, like maybe not every play, but like maybe 40% of the time, 30% of the time. I don't know how often they'll use that look, but that would be great to have them all 3 on the field.
Imagine them all running all over the place.
That's pretty good speed back there.
Oh yeah, man.
A lot of ball hawking potential there. So yeah, I'm good on Lamarcus Joyner. I just think that that's like a great signing, a no-brainer, really, too. $1.5 million. That's all we got.
Who?
Lamarcus Joyner, $1.5 million.
I thought it was 4.5.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2.5.
4.5.
2.5, and he can earn another $1.5 million with playing time and incentives.
Okay.
So he can earn more money.
Total possibility of around $4 million.
Correct. Yeah. He can earn more money, and that's fine. If he plays well, absolutely have the extra dough. They're just chatting with each other. No worries. All right, let's go to the next one. We got defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins.
Mm-hmm.
Sheldon Rankins came from New Orleans, and he is 26 years old. I love this signing, by the way.
I think it's great.
To the second tier of free agents, I think he's clearly the best second tier free agent we signed.
Absolutely. I did a 2-year deal. You can earn up to $17 million.
He's getting paid.
And he's
not cheap.
No.
They believe in this guy.
They want this guy here.
Right.
And apparently the quote I heard was that the selling point was Robert Saleh being here. That's the only reason why this guy's coming here. So that just tells you the aura that's coming with our head coach versus what we got with Adam Gase. There's players who are attracted to the Jets rather than pushed away.
We've signed a lot of people.
They want to come and play with us, chat.
We've signed, I think, 9 people.
They want to get some of that.
I mean, 9 players is a lot of signing, and there's going to be more signings because they still have a lot of holes.
I think it's badass to think about him and Carl Lawson on the line. Can you imagine that?
Dude, you're forgetting a name. Quinnen Williams.
Dude, right.
Our defensive line. I said it in a tweet. We're going to have a top 5 defensive line.
Sharks.
Sheldon Rankins. Quinnen Williams, Nathan Shepard, Foley Fatukasi, Jonathan Franklin Myers, Jabari Zuniga, Bryce Huff. We've got Carl Lawson, Vinny Curry.
Vinny Curry.
I just named the whole defensive line, but it's a really good defensive line. There's a lot of
Shaq, give him some hype in there, man.
A lot of youth.
That was pretty badass. I gotta give you credit.
Tons of youth.
You just wrapped that off like
it was a lot of them. There might be a couple I missed, but I'm pretty sure I hit them all.
I think it counts.
At least the most notable. That's some serious depth.
That's some serious power.
This is what I want to talk about a lot on. So if we're going to talk a lot about any of these free agents, let's be this one. Our defensive makeover from a 3-4 to a 4-3, by doing this, we will not be weak at the point of attack. We have plenty of beef. Plenty. And they're going to be rotating all game long.
Like I just said, I think Robert Saleh watched too many Marvel movies because he's literally getting Infinity Stones, and he's gonna put the gauntlet on, man. What do you think of that? That's a drink. That's how hyped I got him.
That's a good one right there.
Let's go!
That's not the mentality of the Robert Saleh regime. That it will be a mistake because I feel like that is his identity. He wants bull rushing defensive players. Like, he wants those guys to get after the quarterback. The front line matters so much in good defense.
Yep.
Anybody who's younger, who's watching, and just people in general, like if your kids watch football, I would stress to you that that's the way, like the philosophy that Joe Douglas talks about all the time, building the lines up.
Yep.
That is like if I were, and again, I'm not a GM, so don't sit here and pat me on the back, but I would do the exact same thing. Yep. Even if Joe Douglas fails as a general manager, I would still do what he's talking about doing.
Oh, 100%.
Building the draft, signing veteran free agents on good deals.
But that's not easy in the New York market, though. That's a very hard pill for the New York market to swallow.
That's how you build a team.
I know,
now.
but you true or false,
a team that can win for a long time too.
That's why the Giants haven't been shit, and that's why we're having a hard time because the New York market wants instant gratification.
I think that Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh are going to figure it out.
I think they are going to figure it out now. But here's the thing. Here's the counter argument to that. How did Tannenbaum do it? They did a blitzkrieg.
The opposite.
They did a blitzkrieg approach in like a 3-year span. They ramped up in the first year, hit it hard in the second year. We went to the AFC Championship, hit even harder.
Not the third year. We lost players on the third year.
Did we lose players on the third year?
Not of Tannenbaum, of Ryan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
2009,
we agree that it was a blitzkrieg approach. It was an overwhelming force in a short amount of time.
They were trying to get a Super Bowl as fast as they could.
They came close.
They came very close. But I still
first one, they said if we would have made it to the Super Bowl, we would have beat, what was it, the Bears that year? I can't remember.
Tell me the year the last time we went to the playoffs.
Oh, it's been 10 years.
It's been almost 11.
It's 10 years.
Or it has it been? I don't even know. 20, yeah 10
years. You're right. No, let's finish that. That's a great point. That is the consequence of going too hard, too fast.
Exactly.
You will go, if you do
it's like when you're making love to a woman. You just don't want to go too hard and too fast. You want to take your time with that.
I think, but it blows my mind a little bit. But let's finish that. If we now know that the consequences of trying to get instant gratification in a 2 or 3 year lifespan could potentially cost us a 10-year drought. And I would say I've learned my lesson. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are. I think we all agree because every time we look in the chat, it's Hail Joe D. And if you
Hail NYJ today too, they're very appreciative.
We love you guys.
We love them. There's no doubt in our minds like who's going to be in the chat or like the people that at least will tune in. We appreciate you guys. So he said, I really like this chat versus the bigger chats. He says we can go back and forth on here without ridiculous comments in between. If that's all this channel ever was, I'd be fine with it. I love the interaction. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Jets ruined Mark Sanchez's career. I would agree, but he was not very good either. So the answer coming up on Tevin Coleman. Yeah, we will be talking about Tevin Coleman in a little bit. He is on the list. We just had to talk about Sheldon Rankins, though.
Did you finish chat? I just want to make sure we get through everything.
We're okay. Nobody's clamoring for anything. If you guys want to talk about something, just blow it up like over and over again. I'll see it.
From Straight Fire again?
He did not call back. Maybe he wants to talk later. Don't worry about it. You just need a hug. He always tells me that. He says Mike needs a hug.
I want a hug, man.
All right. We're going to just talk a little bit more. I want to talk a little bit more about Sheldon Rankins.
Yeah, I feel like I just dominated that. I'm sorry.
You didn't dominate anything. He was injured
Are you saying I can't dominate?
You can dominate.
Are you saying there's something wrong with my dominate stick?
Injured the last 2 seasons, so that's one thing with Sheldon Rankins. It's a little bit of a risk because he has been hurt the last 2 years. But in 2017 and 2018, 10 sacks combined those 2 seasons. It was 8 and 2.
6'3", 305 pounds, 12th overall pick.
Maybe it was 6 and 4. I don't remember. But yeah, really good defensive tackle.
12th overall pick. That's what I'll say.
Say that one more time.
12th overall pick.
Yep, he was drafted early, and he's only 26, exactly. Lots of talent on this dude, and if you haven't watched tape on Sheldon Rankins, he's got a spin move.
I'm going to do the Johnny Manziel.
He's got a spin move. Sheldon Rankins next to Quinnen Williams, next to Carl Lawson.
Woo! Woo!
The ghosts, they're going to be coming out.
You spit hot fire.
They're going to be coming out. They're going to be hitting quarterbacks this season. That's the best part. I want to see quarterbacks go down.
We talked about it last week. What would you rather have? Crazy secondary or a crazy
it's
insane
always a defensive line.
line.
Always. Yeah. 100% of the time. And that doesn't mean we don't want cornerbacks on this channel. I want us to draft J.C. Horn if he's there at 23. I think that would be a beautiful match. He could develop into an
I want to
unbelievable
give the
zone
quarterback
cover
2
corner.
seconds to throw rather than 10 seconds.
Say again?
I want to give the opposing quarterback 2 seconds to throw, not 10 seconds.
Yeah, future TV. Yep. Sheldon Rankins is the jet spinner. Yep. He will be. He is a spin move machine. Watch the tape, dude. He can spin on people. He really does.
Kind of reminds you of Freeney.
He was a defensive tackle and Dwight Freeney was a defensive end, but yes, very similar. Not exactly as dominant because Dwight Freeney was really
Warren
dominant.
didn't have a fucking spin move, did he?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Did he?
He
I thought it was the swim arm.
He had a lot of moves, dude. Warren Sapp's one of the greatest defensive tackles of all time.
Oh, heck yeah.
He was
I
a
don't remember
beast.
him for his spin move.
Well, again, I'm not saying
You know
he
who has
had
spin? You know who has spin? Vince
Vince who?
Wilfork.
No way. It was like 350 pounds.
I told you he had spin
You're
move.
insane. Mike just said that Vince Wilfork had a spin move. I want somebody to find. I want somebody to find that on YouTube.
Don't do it.
If you find that on YouTube, I want you to add me on
I'll
Instagram
find it myself.
or on Twitter.
I'll find it myself.
Oh my god. You guys are hilarious.
I'm gonna
Spin move from hell, sire. Alright. We're moving on. That's great. This is wonderful though. Alright, we're gonna go to topic 5. Topic 5 is Tyler Kroft, defensive end. Our defensive end, sorry. Tight end. Tyler Kroft comes from the Buffalo Bills. He was a 3rd round pick, I believe, as I fumble through some papers here. Let me get that one. Yeah, 3rd round pick out of Rutgers. But he was drafted by the Bengals in 2015. He's bounced between those two teams, so Cincinnati and Buffalo. His career stats, 67 catches, 661 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's in 51 games played. He started 35. And again, Tyler Kroft, anybody that goes on Twitter and says, this is an L. Who's this guy? Tyler Kroft is not being signed to be some dominant tight end. Why did they sign Can you tell me why? If you can't tell me why, you're out of this room. Yeah, Tyler Kroft. Why did they sign this dude? Not to catch balls. No, I just read you his stats.
Yeah, he's a physical beast.
He's a blocker. Right. Yeah. They can do 2 things: catch passes or block. And he blocks.
I think he's a depth chart filler as well. I don't, and I also that's what I thought. That's what I was about to say to your comment. I think he's a depth chart filler as well, and I think that's a great move. You know, not every signing has to be flashy.
Exactly. We're building a team.
Right.
We're not building a top heavy team.
We got the cap space to do it.
I'm turning you on to this offseason. I knew I could do
it. Let's go, baby!
He was telling me how much he hated this free agency.
I never said that.
I wish he was out of the room. I'd get tired of looking at him, honestly. Blocking tight end, Mike. Yes, blocking tight end. He said it himself. Just make sure we all would agree.
Thank you.
But, agreed. Blocking tight end. This guy is going to help with the running game. We will get to Tevin Coleman down the road. He is next, but there's an obvious reason why the blocking matters. We have a new running back on the football team. We will talk about him. Our running game has sucked for quite a while now.
I don't think we're solidified at running back,
Oh,
though.
no. They might draft another dude.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
We need a little youth in there.
Well, they've got Ty Johnson, and they've got Josh Adams.
Oh, I forgot about
Those are 2 young guys.
True.
So James DiPietro, welcome to the chat, dude. Good to see you. He says he's going to be our fullback. I don't know. If he was going to be the
That's a good idea.
I don't know about that, though. So Trayvon Wesco's still on the team. If they were going to cut him, then yeah, sign this dude and replace him. But they haven't cut Wesco.
I like James' idea. I do.
What's up, Straight Fire?
What up, man?
I'm sorry that you guys know my number. This is getting kind of creepy, all right?
Listen, this is the show where you are on my phone. That is correct, man. But you're part of the show. You come on and we talk to you. Let's go.
What's going on?
All right, so I want to banter back and forth because I would love you guys' big take on what I'm about to say. So after I'm done, feel free to just, come back at me.
Go for
Go
it.
ahead,
Go
man.
for it.
Okay. It's about some of the free agents. I actually like to show the ranking signing. 2 years, 17 mil, that's not bad. It's really a 1-year deal, but it's actually a great move for the Jets because it just added depth to a position of need. And with a 4-3 base front, you're going to need a lot of guys rotating in and out. So this is a great system for him because he's not going to be that every down player like he was in with the Saints. So you can rotate these guys. You got Vinny Curry as well, who can just be that third down specialist and just get as many bodies as you can to the quarterback because they're going to have to double Quentin. They're going to have to end up eventually doubling Carl Lawson. And the rest of these guys are going to be fresh, rotating in, and they're just going to have a field day. This defense is slowly but surely.
I gotta stop you because I'm about to orgasm on the
You gotta
stream.
stop, man.
Listen, man, I have said this. That's one thing I will stand on is that I have been talking for months on this channel about having an interior pressure and an exterior
Just
on the
preach.
edge. That is necessity of this defense is to have that threat.
I wholeheartedly agree. Also, if I can talk a little bit about the draft.
Go for it,
Oh,
bro.
man, don't get me going.
All right, both of you guys. Okay. What do you guys think? I'm a big proponent of this. If the value doesn't meet the need of a position necessarily. So, what do you guys think in reference to double dipping in certain positions just to get those bodies in? Because the injuries are going to happen. So, what do you guys think about double dipping with 2 corners? Double dipping with another couple of pass rushers? Double dipping in maybe a couple wide receivers just to add depth. If, as much as I want some guards in our lineup, if the guard situation doesn't come about and the value isn't there for Joe Douglas, do you think the best proponent for our team is to just add depth and just double dip on those positions?
Yes. I'm a strong believer that they might do that. They might do 23 overall, take a guard, and they might take another offensive lineman at 34. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that to protect Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. Like, why wouldn't they invest in protecting him?
I agree.
And even cornerback, dude. Even cornerback. You could make the same case. How beast would it be if we had corners in the secondary along with that pass rush?
And you also got to understand, Mike, you listening to me? They're trading Sam Darnold. You can book it, so don't have a coordinary. We're going to trade him. So we're going to get that addition.
Oh, hey, whoa. Let me rebuttal. I wanted to be clear, man. My brother, I never said that I wanted to keep Sam. I'm saying if we did keep Sam, what is the silver lining? That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying.
Oh, I will tell you. You want to hear what's going to happen? I'm not an expert in any way. I have a 9 to 5. When I have time to watch film, I do it and study these guys and watch interviews. I do all that just like everybody else. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, Mike. If Joe Douglas goes on these guys' pro day, Friday is Wilson, Monday, I believe, is Fields. I can absolutely guarantee you he's going to fall in love with these guys. I think Zach Wilson, because like I posted on Twitter, he fit this team absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I'm just going to go with Zach Wilson. And if he decides to stay with Sam Darnold, you can rest assured, when these guys get on the field and they're learning that offense and they start to ball out, whenever they step on the field and Sam Darnold has one of those 21 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 3,000 yards, and we finish 6 and 10, and we get the 11th pick, and now we in quarterback purgatory like the Bears. You
He's
can
right.
rest assured.
No, he's right.
You are preaching. You are saying, you are hitting on everything, dude. You're killing it, dude.
Yeah,
You're 100% right.
You already cut my head off, straight fire. What do you want? You want to eat my heart?
I ain't telling you.
I agree with you, man. I bow.
You gotta agree with me. I'm right.
Now he's on top of me, just putting my fucking
That's
face
what I'm
in,
saying.
dude.
I love this Panther back and forth. I love everybody on the stream, especially Grant. We give each other a hard time with this whole quarterback thing. But I'm going to let y'all know something. In my opinion, there's no justification to keep him sad. I hate talking about the quarterback situation because I'm about to go to the hospital because I'm about to just my chest hurts. Because there's no end to a mean in sticking with Sam Darnold. Because if he goes, I just said those stats, and they finish 6-10, and you're not going to pick up the 5th-year option, and now you're going to have to decide, okay, now what we do at the most important position. So trading down that makes no sense when you don't have an answer with the most important position in all of sports. Trading down makes no sense by accumulating picks, but you neglect the most important position, and trading down without a quarterback, it just doesn't make any sense.
Listen, man, if you don't call every week, I'm pissed at you. Just know that. So when I at you on Twitter that you didn't call, just be prepared for that.
Because you spit hot fire.
No, my fault. I do have a kid. I'm a full-time dad, so I got you. But I'm trying. But I'll call, because I love the stream. You guys show rocks, but that's what I'm saying. I just wanted to just put my 2 cents in, and I'm telling you, this pro day is gonna be fantastic. I actually think what he's going to do after March 30th, after Hughes Pro Day, he's gonna sit down with his guys. He's gonna make a decision, and by April 15th, Sam's gonna be out of here. He's gonna decide on Zach Wilson. It's just getting their eyes on him on the pro day, picking his brain, making sure these fake character issues ain't a big deal, which I don't think it's not. And they're going to decide, you know what? He's too perfect for this team. We're going to take Wilson. By April 15th, we're going to get Sam out of here, get the 2nd-round pick, and we're gonna get the ball rolling. I think a fantastic team going forward.
Yeah, dude, we have a shot. I think if Wilson hits, if we can hit on that pick and he's a stud, that changes everything. It changes everything. Thank you, sir.
If they don't draft him and he goes to Carolina and he puts up ridiculous numbers, and Sam Darnold is just a 6-10 quarterback throwing picks,
that's a nightmare. That is a nightmare.
We've already lived through it multiple times.
No,
that's
sir.
That's why you can't stick with Sam.
I think you're right, dude.
Oh, by the way, Mike.
I'm here. I'm listening, dude. I love you, man.
What did you say?
I love you too, guys. Yo, be good. I'm going to keep being on the stream. Thank you guys for taking my call. Have a wonderful night.
Later, man.
Later, buddy.
Peace, brother. Fantastic phone call. Fantastic. Thank you so much for calling Straight Fire.
I love it.
He's like, I know I'm
right.
right.
What? Grant, get your ass in here. I'll go against you too, man. You see how I take those punches from Straight Fire? I got that chin.
I
got that chin.
Ay. All right. We were talking about Sheldon Rankins. I think we've hammered the defense. Listen, the defensive line thing is no joke. I think it changes the trajectory of the team.
To the ground.
Good though.
Oh, every topic tonight has been powerful. Powerful.
I think he's going to, Joe. He talked about the Shanahan offense. He said that it's a fit for him. He called that over a month ago. Yeah. He said, "I'm a fit for the Shanahan offense," and we have. Coincidentally, somebody from the Shanahan offense. So
we're going to the next topic.
Yes, we will go to the next topic. It is going to be not Tyler Kroft.
Vinny Curry.
We're going to talk about Vinny Curry from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep, better.
I believe he played a season or two with the Bucks. I think I wrote that down. And he is 33 years old. 32.5 career sacks. He played and won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles when they won it.
Right. 2018?
I don't know the year. I don't think it was 2018. I think it was earlier than that. I want to say 2016 or 2017. Something like that. So he is long in the tooth. There's no doubt about it. They signed him to a $1.3 million contract. Relax.
Deal.
They gave him no money. This guy is making basically veterans minimum. And we're getting a veteran leader on this defensive line. Somebody that has never dominated in the NFL, but he's been consistent, and he has been in the NFL for a long, long time.
You don't have to ramp him up that
Yeah.
much.
Yep.
You know what you're going to get.
I mean, this is a guy who's played almost 10 years, I think.
You get maybe 3 or 4 big plays a year, you'll be happy. That's what he's there for.
That's a very nice way to say it. If he makes 3 or 4 plays this season, you're satisfied. Because, again, you're paying him at the lowest cost that you could possibly pay.
The only thing below that's the kicker.
Yeah. The one thing I was going to say was, like, this signing, I think it helps because our entire defensive line is super duper young. He's the oldest defensive lineman we have. So we've talked about how important pressuring the quarterback is. We've talked a lot about how young and talented our defensive line is. Having a 33-year-old on that or in that room, I think matters. Having somebody that's like a vet, like a clear top dog veteran, played in the league a long ass time, like he's going to be the veteran leader of that defensive line. I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of the.
I wouldn't say he's like the ideal leader, but he'll be a good leader.
He'll be a good leader. They're young.
The ideal veteran is an ex-superstar, like a Dwight Freeney or whoever.
I don't think that's true necessarily. I think people who've played in the NFL a long time, I think they deserve respect.
Oh no, I'm not saying he won't bring to the table, but not as much as a veteran superstar would bring to the table.
Maybe. He's been in the league a long time though. He's seen a lot of football.
I think he'll be a great mentor.
So let's see. Yeah, Schlong agrees. He says Curry will be perfect veteran to lead the other linemen. Jason Rhodes says the Jets aren't getting 2 tacos and a Coke for Sam. I think they might.
Jason's been roasted
I think,
night.
Again, I'll pat myself on the back. I said 3rd round pick. I think that's what I'm sticking with. The whole offseason, that was
we were talking second? You
never
go back
thought
to our early streams chat.
I never.
We're celebrating the 10th. This is 10th, right?
This is the 10th episode.
10th stream. So, kisses out to you guys because that's how we made it here. But no, when we were the first or second stream, we were saying that he would be worth a 2nd round pick. You remember that?
I do remember that. I don't think he'd be worth a 2nd round pick. I never said that.
I literally will have to go back now and find the clip because
I never said
that. That definitely was in there.
I said that
You said, I don't believe it, but this is what they're saying.
Correct. Oh, no, I said that.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
I never thought they'd get it, was my point. I never thought that they would get a 2nd round pick.
No.
My whole thing is from the beginning, I never thought that Sam Darnold played well enough to really earn top dollar, and he played 3 seasons in the NFL. It wasn't the same as Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen had only played 1 year, and it was a bad year, but they got a 2nd round pick because he had only been 1 year removed from college.
Right.
He didn't have a ton of bad tape. He just had 1 bad season of tape.
Right.
And Darnold has not 2 bad seasons, but basically 2 average seasons and then 1 really bad season. So it worked out badly for the Jets because if he had played a little bit better, they could have gotten more. But the problem is if he had been playing better, we would have been winning. So
we might not be drafting.
Exactly. So it was probably better that he tanked out for us, to be honest with you.
So we did tank after all.
He tanked. Sam Darnold was the tank king. I mean, let's be honest. He was losing games for us left and right, playing really bad football.
Did we play the backup at one point? I can't remember.
Joe Flacco played a couple of games because Darnold got hurt again.
Okay.
He's never played 16-game season. That's another factor as well, letting Sam go. Excuse me.
Was the Raiders game with Flacco or was Sam? It was with Flacco, right?
The Flacco, he played against the Chargers, the Broncos, and then maybe one other team.
Raiders, I thought.
I don't know. No. I don't think so. I don't know. I have no idea. I talked about earlier how he was a veteran, Vinny Curry. And I just feel like also on top of all that, he's going to be able to help Bryce Huff and Jabari Zuniga. They need to learn how to develop different pass rush moves. And you have to think that Vinny Curry, although he's not the most talented player in the league, he probably knows different moves. He's been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
You would think he knows how to rush the passer. He's just not a beast. And so I feel like that's a great signing for those 2 players. They can really learn a lot from him, so I'm excited about that. You want to move on?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Got our next topic here. It is Tevin Coleman, running back from the 49ers. Do you want to hit it? Did you hit it? Because I know you got a differing opinion on him.
I'm lukewarm on this one.
Just remember the price.
$2 million. I'm forgetting.
Up to $2 million.
$2 million.
It doesn't mean no. up to $2 million. He has to earn it. He's going to get less than $2 million if he doesn't play.
I don't know what the exact stipulations are. Do you know what the exact stipulations are?
Doesn't matter. He's got to perform. If he
I
performs and earns the money, then he's worth the money.
I think some of his seasons would be worthy enough to get the $2 million. And I don't know. I'm not taking his best season into account. This is not what I'm saying. But if you look at his average situation, which is injury prone, I think 2 sprained ankles or 2 sprained knees. I can't remember what it is. And then on that, inconsistent production. Now, let me before you tear me apart.
Be careful.
Inconsistent production in one area,
which is what?
He's appealing great because of his split between receiving and rushing ability. And I'm not saying that should be overlooked. I agree. To have multiple weapons in one player is never a bad thing. But it all depends on what our scheme is going to be. And
Shanahan offense, the one he played in.
True. And that's a lot of play action. So that, true, very true. But if he's prone, it really doesn't matter what his abilities are. Because if he's not on the field, he's not producing.
For $2 million. I'm gonna go to the chat first.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead, finish up before we rape you.
Yes, because I can feel it coming. I already know. I already feel that presence behind me, which is, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with a $2 million signing. Okay, I mean it's really a drop in the bucket. I know that.
The whole chat's gonna fill it up. Now you're wrong. Go ahead. We've already got 2 that disagree with you. Go ahead.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm not crazy about it because it doesn't solidify our running back situation. That's what.
I think that's fair. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can't sit here and say like you didn't like the signing.
I'm not crazy. I never said I didn't like it. I just said I was lukewarm about it. I'm not going to get like I'm not running to my computer to message Grant Root and be like, "Hey, let's get pumped up." I'm not going to do that.
Sean Bennett, welcome back, bro. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate you.
I can't. Cheers.
That was an empty can. So Tevin Coleman actually was
the wrong one.
Tevin Coleman, now that he's done spewing whatever he's spewing, Tevin Coleman was the guy I wanted to sign when we signed Bell. Now you might be sitting here saying, well, Tevin Coleman got hurt those 2 years that Bell played.
He was on the field. That's my point.
I still would have rather had Tevin Coleman because
I was never a fan of signing Bell, so that I don't want you to give that perception.
I did not like Tevin Coleman. I
agree.
I did not like Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was a mistake. They paid way too much money. They could have gotten Tevin Coleman at a cheaper discount, and it wouldn't have been such a blown opportunity, if you will. Like he got paid a little bit
on the field anyway. So what does it matter?
The point is the Jets invested so much money in Bell.
Oh, I agree. That was a blunder.
That's the point. And this isn't a lot of money.
No.
So how can you hate the signing?
I never said I hate the signing.
All right, you're lukewarm.
I'm lukewarm.
You're wrong.
But why would I? Is it so bizarre that I'm not like crazy pumped about it?
You should be more pumped than you are. I think you don't.
If he's our starting running back, you're going to be pumped about that?
Yes, I think I'll be fine with that. We do not need to invest heavily in the running back position. We can draft somebody in the draft, and there is a comment on that from Future TV. I am going to get to your comment because I'm all aboard that ship as well. But I wanted to go through his stats. So Tevin Coleman has played really decently not that long ago. Okay?
He's gone through a slump.
Not really, though. He got hurt last year, and he was hurt a little bit before that. Not a lot.
2 fucked up knees, dude.
All right, let's listen to the stats. So this is starting back in 2016. 2016. 500 rushing yards. Again, I am not saying this guy is an all-star running back. This is a decent running back. 4.4 yards per carry in that season. 8 touchdowns. Sorry, I don't have the button I need to click on. 2016, he also had receiving 31 receptions for 421 more yards.
I know. I didn't discount his dual threat ability.
You discounted it too much. Tevin Coleman stays healthy enough, and we have a tremendous pass catcher out of the backfield. He had a ton of yards that second year. That's almost 1,000.
And what I say, it all depends on who we have behind the center.
We need offensive linemen, but we're going to get them in the draft. That's what I'm telling you. Listen, not basically 1,000-yard season in 2016, and he had 11 touchdowns. Okay? Then in 2017, 628 rushing yards, 4 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns.
I believe
300 receiving
I
yards.
believe in Robert. This was obviously Robert's pursuit.
I'm not even done, boy. I'm still going. 800 yards rushing in 2018, 4 touchdowns. Receiving, 276 receiving yards. He had 1,000 yards.
I'm not discounting the numbers.
He had 5 receiving touchdowns.
Look at the pattern in the individual lines.
I get it. I'm reading off stats and I'm telling him he's wrong. I don't agree with him. I'm not going to change on that. The stats don't tell the whole tale. The stats don't tell the whole tale is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
But having said that, though, a running back that can do both things at a good level.
At $2 million is a steal. I'm just not crazy pumped. I'll be one of those people where I want to see his production for me to really get that excited.
All right, so Gwydion is coming to your rescue. He says Mike is right. Tevin sucks. That's what he says. So he is agreeing with you.
I'm not trying.
Don't be too snarly now. His feelings are getting hurt. It's a disagreement. Don't ever have your feelings hurt,
bro.
Don't have your feelings hurt.
Hey, look at me.
Yes.
My feelings aren't hurt.
It's a split chat.
This is like a friendly joust.
Correct.
What this is.
Yes.
And we both knocked each other off the horse.
Sean Bennett says Tevin is very versatile for $2 million. Great pickup. He also says he fits the LaFleur system, so it's good. And again, $2 million for 1 year.
I'm good with $2 million.
Jason Rose does say Gwydion, Mike is never right. You're new to the channel, Gwydion. You don't know.
Jason,
that's the show.
Jason,
without Mike being wrong, we wouldn't have a show.
Jason, don't go on Grant's side. Don't go on the dark side.
It wasn't Grant. He was talking about Gwydion.
I know, but Jason's we're like Grant.
Grant's your enemy, and now Jason's your enemy?
Grant will always be my arch enemy. But Jason, don't join the piss squad.
Rafa says Gase didn't use Bell the right way. There is a lot that could be made about that for sure. They did not use Bell correctly. They never threw him enough passes. Right. Bell is a versatile player, just like Tevin Coleman, and that's why Gase sucks. Gase was beast.
We had a discussion between Kotite and Gase, so that just tells you where
that's a great way to segue it. And I really am a believer in this Coleman sign. I didn't really get a chance to defend it completely still. The stats don't tell the whole story. He's coming from the same exact offense. He has nothing to learn about the blocking schemes. He knows exactly where he's supposed to go in all these running plays. And I get it. Running back's an easy position to play. He doesn't have that much to learn. But it does matter a little bit. And, again, this was really only the one season he's been, really badly hurt. He missed all of 2020. We get it. But if he comes back and he's as good, home freaking run free agent signing. And he's only had one season where he's been out the whole year like that.
We haven't talked about if the COVID out will be available. Because if the COVID out's there, we're going to be screwed.
I don't think it will be. I don't think that the NFL will have a COVID opt-out this coming season. I could be wrong on that. Nothing happened to the NFL players from playing last year.
No, the NBA did a great job of controlling.
NBA did a fantastic job. The NFL, I can't compliment Roger Goodell very often, but he seemed to handle it well, right? They did good.
That man never gets any kudos.
Yep. So, I just feel I don't know. I feel like it's good.
Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you did a good job defending it.
So, Michelle says, Jets never have a strong running back, so Coleman is good for Jets standards. Across the league, he's okay. When he was healthy, not 2020, he was very solid. And again, we're not looking for a superstar running back. That's not necessarily the Super Bowl recipe.
Some of us need to see it to believe it.
Future TV does throw in Javonte Williams out of NC. I've been hyping him up a little bit on Twitter. Eventually, I'll probably do a video on him. He was not in my running backs video that I did over a month and a half ago.
And Najee out there.
Najee's on one of my videos.
I know.
So I would say Javonte Williams out of NC State, or excuse me, NC State. Yeah, NC, right? No, not NC State. North Carolina University, my bad. So I just feel like he's a really good blend. And actually the thing that stood out to me on his tape was he was like really balanced. Like he has really good ability to stay on his feet and not go down easily. Like he can break tackles and he can take a hit and not fall over, basically, is what I'm saying. Like he's really good at keeping his feet under him. And he's saying we draft O-line, cornerback after number 2 and get Williams in round 4. He would be a first or second round talent in the 4th round. That's going to be the key of future TV. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. I don't think there's any way he falls to round 4. But if he's there in round 3, I'm taking him. 3rd round, I'm taking him. We have 2 third-round picks. We will have already had 3 picks or 4 picks prior to that. I'm all down for that. That would be great to have a young running back. Tevin Coleman could be the starter early in the season, and then if this dude performs and just beast modes, have the job. Take it. That's a great way to do it. Have a veteran running back that has done it before, and then have somebody that can just pop onto the scene.
We need to produce, though. I mean, we can't be messing around, man. So, because whether it's Sam or whether it's Zach, if we're going to be a one-dimensional offense, it's going to be a problem.
You mean you want a strong running back so they don't have all the pressure on them?
No, I don't care if it's a running back by committee or whether it's an every down back. What I'm saying is, it's not that Zach would be dealt the same cards that Sam would. Obviously, the team would be much more equipped and deeper for Zach to start with than what Sam got. But we have to be a multi-dimensional offense. If we don't get production out of a rotational committee or by one running back, it's going to be a problem, regardless.
And that's why your disagreeing with me didn't really bother me, because I still want, even with Tevin Coleman in the picture, I still want us to draft a running back.
Okay, there we go.
And that's why I was never really like too bummed out.
Yeah.
Having a veteran and drafting somebody is a really good pairing to do, because you can have them split carries. The running back who's young, you got to earn it. Like young buck, you have to take the job if you want it.
But I'm speaking, if I'm Robert, I'm speaking to the entire group at the same time all the time, and I'm saying, we need you all. Just based. I mean, obviously you don't want to be like disrespectful to them, but we're not going to get the job done depending on one of you. We need all of you to perform for us to get the true objective, which is to get the pressure off the passing game.
True. And having a good running game will help. And I think, again, Javonte Williams, Tevin Coleman, Lamarcus Pirine, that's a nice little combo.
Yeah. And then I'm talking to the offensive line.
Yep. I want to draft an offensive lineman at 23 or 34. If we don't have one offensive lineman by the end of the 2nd round, that is going to send me into a little bit of a panic attack, to be honest with you.
On TV, because we
will be live streaming for the draft. By the way, guys, hit the like button if you're here. I know we've had more than 10 people in this chat, so
we're streaming the 1st round. Let's just say that
we're gonna stream. I think I will be streaming the 2nd and 3rd round for sure by myself if he's not here. But we will be streaming during the draft weekend, and yeah, I would be really nervous if we don't take at least one offensive lineman before round 2 is over. That's a problem, because that's a problem for, like you said, like Sam or Zach Wilson. That's an issue.
Yeah,
because our interior offensive line's a mess right now. We have who's starting? We're gonna put Van Roten back in there.
Yeah,
Alex Lewis.
Oh, I'm excited.
No, thank you. I'm not interested. All right, there's a lot of chat. Jason Rhodes says nothing but love, Mike. So they are just busting your balls like I am. Jason Rhodes. Oh, we already read that. Sorry. Busted Knuckles says future. I'm with you. Javonte is a beast. Nasty day 2 or day 3 running back. I agree. If we got him on day 3, I'd be doing cartwheels in my little house. So let's see. I want all the draft picks. Excuse me. Definitely agree. I want as many as we can get. If we trade back in the 2nd round, that wouldn't break my heart. Or even if we trade back from that 1st round pick.
The 23rd?
If Joe Douglas sees people that he knows he can get in the 30 to 40 range and get more picks, I think he does it. I think he would. If he feels like he can land really good value in that 30 to 40 range.
I don't know. I think that 23rd and 34th pick is a very interesting situation. I think it really depends.
What if it was 34 and 35? Wouldn't you still feel pretty good?
Yeah, I'd feel good about
And
that.
more picks.
Here's what I think. Staying and having a second first round pick, it really depends on what happens in that draft. I think there's a strong potential we see names drop significantly in the draft. And I think that really changes. I think that needs to be considered when you talk about the 23rd pick.
Definitely. Yep.
I
It's a lot of value.
I don't think you listen to any word.
I do. You said you want the value. You said that it's very valuable to have the 23rd pick. I agree. Not trading back.
Bobbing of the head like it's
I'm listening to you. Jeez. I agree. We could take a player at 23 overall. There is a lot of value. If J.C. Horn is there, I'd take that player no matter what. I don't think there's anybody I would prefer over him. Because I still would take an offensive lineman at 34.
Or Kyle Pitts are falling.
You said go up there.
No way. Don't.
Joe Douglas won't
Don't
do
tell me a new one, but I'm just saying that 23rd, 34th can be very appealing. It can be very appealing. You have a lot of options.
Sean Bennett saying bargain basement the draft as well. LOL. They
love that. That's the motto.
Listen, we bargain basement technically in our last draft. We traded back and we still landed Denzel Mims in the second round, so it can be done. Like, you just got to know, like, Joe Douglas has to be on the clock and sitting there saying, I have this many players that I really like, all about the same, and they all fill different holes on this team. So I'm going to just jump back 10 spots, still get one of those players, and get more picks. Exactly. So that's the thing that I feel like we need to keep in mind is, like, Douglas isn't just sitting here saying more picks, more picks. Like, he's looking at it from an analytical aspect of, I know that I can get somebody good, but I'll move back and get more.
You know that they must have some type of ranking, like numerical ranking methodology. Because the only way you could do that is if you actually have like Madden type rankings for the players. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you would be able to know how you judge their potential. You know, I mean, I guess you could do it by adjectival, but I bet you he's very technical when it comes to how they calculate that.
Yes, I'm sure they have scores for these players. They have grades, literally.
I think he does, but I think there's organizations like the Cowboys who just be like, good, okay, not good.
Maybe. I don't know. That's not a bad way to think about it. I'm sure they have grade systems, though. I wouldn't be surprised if NFL teams didn't. It's more about the way they evaluate them is more than the thing.
Well, I guess I was blending that together. The way they evaluate them and how they document their talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
For the war room.
So Robbie Oak says, but I think it's going to be a quarterback at 23 and then O-line at 34. I agree. I think that cornerback, offensive line, those two picks, that's a great plan.
I'm going to simplify that just because I think there could be others in the chat who pick apart the position. I think offense with 23rd, defense with the 34th.
You could do that too.
I agree with that.
You could do that. I wouldn't be upset if they said to themselves, we are in love with Creed Humphrey or Wyatt Davis. Let's just stay at 23. Let's take a guard. I'm fine with that. I love Wyatt Davis. I've been singing him all off season. By the way, there will be a top 5 interior offensive lineman video coming out this weekend.
True.
There's also a J.C. Horn video coming up this weekend as well.
I got a glimpse of that one. It is pretty awesome, especially some of the play-by-play.
So the cornerback position is a huge need. And again, we don't need to sit here and wonder if JG is going to target cornerbacks. What's the position he's ignored in free agency? Cornerback. What position is he ignored in the free agency as well? On offense. Guard. He didn't really sign anybody except for Dan Feeney.
True.
So that's a backup too. Dan Feeney was not. They didn't sign him to be a starter.
Quarterback. Up till now.
Say again?
I just played a joke. Quarterback.
Oh. So guard, cornerback, those are our biggest needs. There's no way Joe Douglas is coming out of that draft not hitting on those positions at some point in the draft. And I think that's what we need to remind ourselves. Yeah, so Farley could fall. He has a back issue right now. He's going to have surgery. So he might slip a little bit because of the surgery, but if they feel really good about him and they feel like he's going to rebound from that injury just fine, I'm fine with that. He's projected to be like a top 15 kind of player, so if he falls a little bit,
right,
I'm definitely down with Farley, no doubt, for sure. All right, let's keep it moving here. We've got Tevin Coleman done. So now this is where I think it'll be a lot of fun, actually. And it is our last segment, so I will play the Jets chant because if you're in here, you're with us still. We appreciate you. Hit the like button, please. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're watching this after the video is not live, let me know. Or excuse me, I want to let you know we appreciate you.
And if you like the rebranding, let us know.
Yeah, so the new logo, I hope you guys liked it. I saw a couple of you guys commenting on it. I love the logo.
We were pretty happy about it.
It's not really a big deal, but I like it. I'll probably make a shirt out of it.
That is a shirt-worthy logo. And I would say if you really, for the OGs out there, Schlong, Grant.
We'll probably do a shirt giveaway.
Joe, Robbie Oak. Go look at the first videos. It pays homage to the first logo, you know. And if you don't know what it looks like, go check those early videos out. Check the early videos
just
from
put it
John
on there.
No, make him go back and look at it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh,
Slap it up on there.
He's got to cheat.
There you go. NYJ
There it
to
is.
that. There's the original.
A little homage to the original start. So,
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. All right, we are done with Tevin Coleman. We are moving on. So Sean, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I got to get my wife on board. But she made the first shirts that you saw. Those were not like made by a company or whatever.
Did Sean get a koozie yet?
I don't know. Sean, do you want a koozie? And by the way, anybody that's in the chat, if I have 4 left.
This is a level up type of structure here. So you got to get the koozie to get the shirt.
Yep. If you email me at myjtoday@gmail.com, I will mail you one. I have mailed out like 6 or 7, I think, something like that. So if you want a free Jets koozie, email me at myjtoday@gmail.com. Also, we're at about 331 subscribers right now. If you have been stalking my channel and not been subscribed but watching the show, I would really appreciate you subscribing.
Hit that button, man.
So when we hit 400, which we're not terribly far away from right now, if we hit 400 subscribers, we are going to give away a free $50 gift card
to New York Jets shop.
To the Jets shop. So, draft season's coming up. If we get to 400
Who wants
subscribers,
Zach Wilson jersey?
Right. So you get the idea. We're selling our channel to you with bribery, but we really would like you to subscribe.
Cookies and milk.
And again, we do appreciate you guys coming to tune in because that, again, is like the whole dynamic we want. It's like a 2-way conversation, and then it becomes a 3-person conversation.
Yeah, usually I have to break into it. Usually it's you two, you and chat, and then I gotta like, hey, I'm here.
Grant Root says, how do I get a shirt? I'm thinking about it, man.
Grant
Root said, screw the gift card. I want this shirt. Damn. Strong words.
Loving you, man.
I'm probably going to make a shirt for myself. I'm thinking white t-shirt with that behind it. Or excuse me, t-shirt behind that logo. So we'll see. I appreciate you guys saying. And then Sean Bennett says he'll spread the word. I appreciate that as well.
Who's interested in a hat? I think because I've been thinking about getting a logo on a hat.
Oh, for God's sake! What hat?
How would you say? I'm going to be getting a hat. I was going to get you a hat.
I don't know who do you pay to do that?
Oh, there's hat customizers.
Oh my God, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that logo.
Oh God, Michelle said no shirts. Well, there'll be shirts, but not right now.
The shirts, chat.
I'm going to be pretty honest with you guys. We might be giving away shirts. I don't know that for sure. That could be a thing, though. I don't know how many we'll give away. It might not be like 20, but
one of one.
We gave away 12 of these, so maybe I'll give away.
We're gonna give you the shirt off our backs. That's what we're gonna do.
Grant Root says, "Stuff your hat idea." Nobody wants that. All right, so
Grant back on the shit list.
Even Michelle's rolling her eyes at your hat idea.
I'll handle the hats. I don't want her to think that she's gonna be making the hats.
Jason Rhodes, appreciate that, dude. All right. I'm excited about this part of the show, actually. This is probably the entire show. So we will wrap this up after we do our free agency grades. So we've got a list of the Jets free agents that they've signed, and we're going to grade them. And we'll go back and forth. So do you want to go first or do you want to go second? It doesn't really matter because we're going to alternate after that.
Are we doing individual player grades, or are we doing overall grades?
We'll do individual first, and at the very end, we will give our final grade for Joe Douglas in free agency this year.
Okay. Yeah, we'll alternate. You take the first player.
Gerard Davis, linebacker from Detroit. There's a video on the channel of him. Watch him if you haven't learned a lot about him. Just let us know. But Gerard Davis, he came onto the scene and played really well his first 3 seasons or so with the Lions, first-round pick, I believe, out of Florida. This dude actually is a really good blitzer. And I don't want to blitz a lot on defense, but I think that when we do, I would like to be effective.
Yeah.
So imagine our terrifying defensive line and then linebackers coming behind them. That could be really dangerous for an offense. And I think he fits that mold. I think he will be our main blitzing linebacker on the team. Mosley's not going to be doing that. Anybody else that we sign won't be doing that. I think that's his role. And so right now I give Gerard Davis a B because they did spend quite a bit of money on him. I think they spent like $7 mil on Gerard Davis. So not terribly cheap. It was only a 1-year deal, so it's not really a risky contract by any means. But they paid him $7 mil to play linebacker. And so with that amount of money, I'm expecting him to not necessarily dominate, but to play well.
Yeah.
And so I give it a B because he's been hurt. He didn't start with the Lions the last year.
Right.
So can you perform now with a defense that fits you better, basically? So a B right now. It could change, obviously. Go ahead.
I think B is a great rating for him. I don't want to regurgitate anything that you already went over, but I think he, especially with, we don't really know what could happen with CJ for the rest of,
That's true.
With the rest of free agency.
Well, and what does he look like when he comes back?
And what does he look like when he comes back? He really hasn't really played since 2018, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And that still freaks me out, by the way, when I think about that statement, which is he hasn't really played.
He hasn't played in a
2018.
very long time.
For you guys, chat, 2018, when I think back to 2018, that seems like forever to go. Maybe because of COVID, maybe not. That seems like a lifetime ago to me.
Great. Yeah, dude, you're right. I'm not trying to ignore you. I think I just caught Michelle saying she doesn't want you in a shirt, John. Get the hell off the stream.
Michelle, respond.
Free shirt for you, Grant Rude. Great comment. Let's see. So yeah, what's your grade for it? Gerard Davis. I give him a B.
I agree with you with a B. I'm not trying to be a cop-out.
Beautiful. No, there's nothing wrong with agreeing with me. Wide receiver, because I'm right all the time. Wide receiver Corey Davis. So earlier, I did not expect to see this kind of a grade. Schlong says B- for Davis.
I agree with Sean.
Is that what you're giving it, or a C+? Because
No,
I know you're in that range.
No, see, this is you and straight fire coming at me. I never said that the Corey Davis signing was a bad signing. I'm just saying I was surprised with Galladay and Juju still available. That was my argument.
Galladay got paid so much more money.
I know.
You know they called.
But this was before. And that doesn't mean that that's necessarily what Galladay wanted or what he was offered. So, I agree. I agree with B-. I agree with Schlong.
I actually give this Corey Davis. Are you ready?
An A. I'm saying A+.
I'm going to say A-. I think this is a really good signing. He is the exact clone of Denzel Mims, but he has experience.
It's lower than I thought you were going to give it. So
he is the same. He's built big. He's fast. He's a decent route runner, and that's something that Mims I think is going to prove this year. He's a decent route runner for being as big as he is.
Yeah,
and I think that we saw with Corey Davis, he was pretty explosive at times, and he caught a lot of play action passes, and our offense is going to be play action. We're going to be using the play action game in this offense. And I think that would be a great fit for him to be able to stretch the field a little bit to get those intermediate routes. Like, that's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah.
I am not going to sit here and say he's going to be a 1,200-plus yard receiver every year. That's definitely not happening. I don't see that one. Unless Zach Wilson or somebody else, Justin Fields, whoever, is just like a complete freak, like a Patrick Mahomes kind of dude. But yeah, I don't see why you hate it or dislike it. I should say.
But I don't think a B- is dislike. I think that's where you just. I think you. I'm not saying you have it on pedestal, but I'm just saying a B minus does not necessarily mean that you hate the pick. It's just saying like there are some things that maybe you could say are concerns or maybe are just outstanding kind of questions that we just need to see happen on the field.
He's 26 years old. He was just under 1,000 yards, and he missed 2 games last year. So this isn't a 1,000-yard receiver. And he's a wide receiver, too. That's what they're paying him to be.
They said at best he's a wide receiver, too. We don't necessarily know that.
That's not true.
In
a run-heavy offense, this dude was out just under 1,000 yards, and he missed a couple of games.
I'm not trying to rain on your excitement and overall just optimism in him. What I'm saying is, I think saying that you want to see it on the field before you really invest your emotional capacity, I think is an okay thing to do.
I think you just got to realize when he comes to a team that's going to pass it more, we're not going to run it like the Titans do.
Yeah, but you have to tell yourself that with $27 million guaranteed out of a $37 million contract.
They didn't pay him $37 million, I don't think, or maybe it was 3 years, 37.
100%.
That's still good per year. That's not bad.
I know you're saying that's not outside the ballpark, but you have to say that he has to perform because to get $27 million guaranteed, you bet your ass that you want to see something.
I think he's at minimum. I think he's going to be a 9.
And then the other thing I said, sorry, I came in pretty hot just then. And the other thing I said was it depends on who's behind center, because if it's Zach, I feel pretty good. If it's Sam.
It's going to be Zach. You dope. It's going to be freaking
But that's
Zach.
not what we were saying last week. We didn't know. We didn't hear the chatter.
We've been hearing the chatter.
Yeah, in my voice.
So, Future TV says, just missed 1,000 yards with Derrick Henry, hitting milestone records. He's a wide receiver 1 to me. Corey Davis gains just under 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. I'm predicting it first. That's about the range I have for him. And again, wide receiver 2 money. That's where that's the range I have for him. He's going to be at worst about 950 next year. If he's less than that, it's a bust signing, and I'll eat my words absolutely. But he will be in that 900 to 1,100 yard kind of season. And if it's not, it's a bust.
I'll enjoy eating my words.
No worries, bro. No worries. We've got Corey Davis. So I said A-, you said B-, correct? All right, defensive end Carl Lawson. Did you go first last time, or did I go first?
I'll go. A.
Give me the reasons. Why do you love this?
I don't have the stats in. I didn't bring my sheet, but
you don't have to spew stats.
I would just say I just think I love his energy. I loved his press conference. I think his abilities speak for themselves. It is a hefty contract. I do recognize that.
Worth the risk, right?
100%. Especially with the fact that he was the first signing, I believe, if I remember correctly. I think he was our first free agent signing. In which case, what we all agreed with over multiple of these episodes is that the defensive line needed to drastically improve in order to make our defense relevant. And Carl Lawson, I believe, and again, if I'm wrong, let me know, but I believe Carl Lawson was the first signing, and it was fantastic. It was what we wanted.
I think it was second. So I think Corey Davis was first, and then Carl Lawson followed, but it doesn't really matter. Carl Lawson is a QB hitting machine.
Yeah.
And he's
a monster.
Yep. So 4th most, I think, hits on the quarterback. I didn't write that one down.
I could also see marking him down if you feel like he's injury prone, because I do want to recognize that as well.
That's actually why my grade's going to be lower than you expected.
Yeah. What do you have, Matt?
So I'm giving a B+. And again, I kind of like him in the argument that you were just making. It's not that I'm not excited. B+, I'm giving him a really good grade. I value the grading system in the sense that an A+ is kind of an asshole kind of grade to give. I guess why I gave Corey A- because I don't want to sound like an idiot. But the Carl Lawson signing is risky for those reasons because he has had injuries in the past, and he's never really started a ton of games in his NFL career. Right. So with him starting now every week, he's going to be a weekly starter. Does he stay healthy? And so that's why I give it a B+, because if he does get hurt and just misses like basically time after time, like game after game, then it's a bad signing because it was a lot of money they gave him, $15 million I think per year. So he needs to play, he needs to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I'm not worried on. That's why it gets a B+ for me.
Gotcha.
That
That's
easy?
all. I don't have a problem with that.
All right, next up, we've got Justin Hardy, cornerback, special teamer from the New Orleans Saints. You went first last time. It was my turn.
Okay, go ahead.
Justin Hardy is going to be the heartbeat of the special teams unit. I feel like eventually he's going to have a statue built somewhere with him touching his heart.
Yeah. Or with a quote that says,
I feel like he is.
Feed my kid.
Yes. Oh, my God. His press conference was so awesome. And I don't care if anybody out there says it's cliche or anything like that. It's not cliche. That dude was hyped city. He's excited to be a Jet. He's excited to be getting paid more money. He feels like he's arrived. This dude has worked his ass off to get that contract.
It reminds me of a player we had. I was trying to think of our last explosive special teamer.
I can't think of one like that.
I'm thinking of Leon, but I don't know if Leon's right. I don't know why. But
he didn't do coverage unit. This is a different position.
True. I'm just saying.
I hear what you're saying. No,
we
good
had
special
someone
teamer.
on special teams who really kind of sparked
I hear you.
turnovers and sparked the team's motivation and things like that.
Yeah, his returning game was really good.
I think it's great.
Yep. So Justin Hardy, if you don't know, he led the best coverage unit in the NFL. They were the best punt return coverage unit. I think they allowed less than 8 yards per return. Or something ridiculous. It was less than that. I don't even remember. Now I got to look it up because I don't remember. But Justin Hardy, they dominated punt returns. And they dominated. I think it was 7 yards. The kick return was 17 yards for sure. I mean, they led the league now. They were number 1 against punt returns and number 2 against kick returns, I think.
Something like that.
And he's a gunner. That's his role, is to get down there as fast as possible and to make good tackles.
Chad, he's fast.
He is fast. So I'll try to pull that up. Was there anything that stood out to you in his press conference that just rung true to you?
I played to feed my kid. I think that's the MO of the special teams, and I think that's
because they are fighting to feed their children.
I think what he's telling you is, he's saying, I know what I am and I know what I'm not. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll still prove to you every Sunday why I deserve to be on this team. And I think we could use a little bit more of that versus some of the BS we've seen, especially on the Jets with Vernon or Quentin Couples or take your pick.
Yes, and that's a good point to throw in there, Joe, is he will not be on defense. And I talked about it, I think last week. He only played 1 defensive snap. Of all of 2020, that was the only play he played, 1 play on defense. And that's not why they paid him. They paid him to have a huge impact on stopping the returning game. And again, they led the league in punt return. I think, again, they were 2nd place in kick return. I couldn't pull up the stats in the middle of the stream, but you get the point. This dude is the leader of a really good special teams unit. And yes, he is a really good one. All right. We're going to go to Lamarcus, Joyner, safety. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. We didn't give a grade for Justin Hardy. A.
Oh, A. Yeah, I agree.
It's an A.
Yeah.
It's not A+, but it's an A.
It's A.
Keelan Cole is the next player, actually, wide receiver from the Jags. I'm giving that
B+.
B+. Go first.
Hey,
Talk briefly why you like him at B+.
$5.5 million for what I think is a solid number 2 wide receiver. At worst, number 3 wide receiver. I definitely think he could play slot, dude.
Did he say number 2 wide receiver?
Oh, I think he could. I could definitely do.
If he's our number 2 receiver, injuries happened or somebody busted.
Injury. I'm saying that I could say injury, but I'm saying he could definitely. I wouldn't be like, oh well, we got him at number 2 wide receiver. I'm not packing my bag just because of that.
Keep going. I interrupted. That was my bad.
But I think number 3 wide receiver, I think that's where he lands. Because I do say, that I have Denzel Mims popping this season. I do think that he breaks out and definitely becomes the dominant receiver in the following season.
Future TV with a bold statement. 1,000. He says that he could see him having a breakout. He said 1,000 yards. I don't know about 1,000.
B+ is all around, man. Where you have that?
Future TV, you got to remember Denzel Mims, Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, and unless they cut Crowder, there's no way he's getting 1,000. There's not a chance. Yeah. So I'm not laughing at you. I was laughing at somebody in the comments, actually. So, no, I just don't see him having 1,000 yards. That's a lot.
No, I don't see
As a 3 or a 4, I don't think there's any way. Unless they cut Crowder, then you could maybe sell me on that. I could definitely see that one. And they may end up cutting Crowder. We don't know what they're going to do in the draft with receivers, so they may take one. So he says, Cole after Davis signing a B+. Yeah, I'm giving it. Did I give my grade for him? I don't think I did.
Yeah, we both agreed on B+ for oh, wait.
No, you said B+. I hadn't said anything.
Oh.
I give it a B, considering the amount of money they gave, the fact that we no longer have just 2 or 3 wide receivers on the team. He's proven that he can play. Might not be dominant, but he's going to be able to play and play well. So I'm all about Keelan Cole for sure. I think it's a good move. B is my grade. Nothing too crazy there. Next player is Lamarcus Joyner. I'm going to give this one a C+. That does not mean that I don't like the signing. Maybe a B-. I'll actually do that. I'll say a B-. C+ might be a little harsh.
I thought C was harsh. I had that B-.
I'm going to go with a B-. So this is a new member of the chat before I talk about my grade. Cheers to you, brother. Welcome to the channel.
Cheers.
Appreciate you coming by. Subscribe if you're new. I don't think I've ever seen you before. And he says, what can we realistically expect from a healthy Sheldon Rankins? So Sheldon Rankins, I think anywhere from 2 to 5 sack range is realistic for him. I don't think he puts up much more than that. But he's still so young. And he's going to be playing with 2 dudes, Quinnen Williams and Carl Lawson. And again, if they all stay healthy, my God. I don't think he has to do that much, Sheldon Rankins, to be worth the money they paid him. He doesn't need to do a lot. He just needs to be consistently hitting the QB and affecting the running game. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling like. So Joyner, he says A for the money. And that's probably true. I'm being a little bit critical.
You gave him a C+.
I'll give him a B-, I said.
You started with a C+.
I started, but it doesn't matter. I changed it.
You're agreeing with granted that it should be an A. You're like in 3 different bands.
B-, C+, they're right next to each other. B- is what I'm giving him. He's 30 years old. The money's great. There's no issue with the money.
I think they should fire him.
I
think they should promote him.
I'm a little bit worried that he might not play as good as we hope he does. Like, he won't play like he did before playing slot cornerback for the Raiders. He played on a really good team with the Rams. So we'll see. It's a B- for me. I'm not going to go any more hard than that.
I agree with B-. I'm not. I agree with B-.
You agree with B-, but you were going to criticize me because I said C+.
You were like C+, B-, A+.
I did not say A+.
You agree with Grant.
You're an idiot.
No, you did.
Oh, I love Quinnen. Yes. Grant Reed
$4.5 million.
No, Feeney's stash mullet combo is worth at least a
$4.5
C+.
million.
I'm not even grading that signing. That's how much I dislike that signing.
Back in the 2014 draft, yeah, I'll take it.
All right. We did Sheldon Rankins. Or no, we didn't do Sheldon Rankins. We did Lamarcus Joyner. B- for him. Sheldon Rankins. You want to go first or me?
I'll go. I have a B+.
Any particular reason? You just love him?
I think it's strong. It's a hefty contract.
That loses points for you. I get you.
It does.
And injured too last year.
And injured. So I'm going B+.
I give it the same grade that I gave Corey Davis. I'm gonna give him an A- because I feel like this was like a sneaky move. He's the 12th overall pick in the draft, like you mentioned earlier, and he's young, 26 years old. This dude is not. He's not done playing football. He's got a couple more years left in him for sure. He
can easily move into an A. I'll say that.
Oh, baby, he can definitely. A- is what I'm giving that signing. I think it's a great signing. Can't wait to watch him play next to those 2 dudes. I think that's just going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. Sheldon Rankins gets an A-. You said B+. The next one is Tyler Kroft, tight end. I mean, I don't know what to dislike about this move. I'll say a B+. Because he's just the run-blocking tight end. They're not really signing this guy to be the number 1 tight end in the offense.
B- tops for me.
Okay. So you're not loving that one then?
I'm not saying I'm not loving it. I'm just saying I understand what it
does. You gave this move the same grade to Corey Davis.
I Well, no, was it Corey Davis? Like
Yeah, you gave a B minus.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so fuck it. What of it? If any of you want to talk to me about it, the number's right on the screen.
Yeah, that's true. We could take a couple more calls. It's 9:54. We're wrapping up here.
I dare you.
I say B. I say B plus for Tyler Croft because he is just a blocker. They're not really bringing him in to do anything. Grant Root is agreeing with you. He says C, actually. Grant Root says C for Croft.
Me and Grant are
Plenty of a big tight end blockers available.
We have our jewels locked in one of those Chinese finger traps right now. Me and Grant.
They didn't pay him a lot of money. $2 million. Only 1.5 guaranteed. They're not paying Croft any kind of money.
For Croft? Yeah, no, I know that.
Everybody's agreeing with you, though. Sean Bennett says C for him. Actually, I'm very critical. I'm cool with that. I like it when people disagree with me. That's not a problem.
No, he doesn't. You can tell how uncomfortable he feels.
I feel just
It's
fine.
like a turtle outside his shell.
Defensive end Vinny Curry that just happened today. I'm giving that a B. For veteran leadership, for depth, for rotation. This guy was the cheapest, I'm pretty sure. 1.5 mil, something like that?
Yes,
1.3.
1.3 mil.
1.3 mil. For a guy that has 32.5 career sacks
What'd you
and he's
give him?
played in the NFL for 10 years.
What'd you give him?
B.
I agree with that.
Veteran leadership, he's not gonna be blowing up the stat sheet. Don't even start thinking like that. He's not. This is a rotational veteran. That's it.
I agree with that.
Oh, all right, let's see. Busted Knuckles, thank you. Oh, that was a chat comment, not one for me. Let's see. Sean, says Sheldon Rankins, I give a B+, but he has an upside. Definitely tons of upside with Sheldon Rankins. He's still super young. Do not forget that. All right. Last one, running back, Tevin Coleman.
This is the most interesting one, for sure.
I'll let you go first. This was a good disagreement tonight.
You want to be because you feel like the blood's in the water. You feel like I got like my whole ass out.
I feel
I'm
like
just floundering
when
there.
I looked over it and when we were arguing about Tevin Coleman, I saw a little bit of him, like his soul was dying a little bit. Like he felt like he lost the fight, but didn't want to start shedding tears or anything. I'm just fucking with you. All right, go ahead, man.
Ah, man.
Give him a grade. B. He's got 2 years, 1 year, 2 mil.
I already feel like I'm on a tightrope, and like under me is like a bunch of freaking crocodiles that are just like.
Everybody's
chopping.
posting their grades. Go ahead, come on. Don't be too late to the party. They're beating you.
Tevin Coleman.
Just go with it.
Oh, give me a second.
All right. Busted Knuckles says, I smell blood.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know Joe's out there. He's sniffing around, sniffing shit.
Launch. I don't know how to say that name. I'm just going to call you JC because I see
don't
that.
Tell me anything. I
JC.
just want to get my rating first, and then you can tell me.
All right, we'll go. Cranky. Like 5 people have given their grade.
I
You're still
understand.
sitting here picking your
If you would
nose.
stop, if you just give me a second, I could get it out of me. I'm going to say that Tevin Coleman is a B.
That's what most people say. So Michelle says B-. Future TV says B-. Sean, you should be calling in. I don't know why you haven't ever called in. We'd love to have you call in, man. Let's see. JC says solid B because he can teach the rest of our backs how the system works. And he can also help on passing downs. He can block. He can receive. He can catch the ball. Tevin Coleman's upside, baby. Grant Rude, B. Joe says B. Everybody, literally in the chat, had a B- or a B.
B.
I'm going to give it a B as well. I don't think B+ that's too generous. Again, it's a 1-year deal. Cheap contract. He's coming off of an injury. B. Cheap, and great value. So, we have hit the 2-hour mark in about a minute. Just want to say thank you to everybody tonight. We've had an absolute ball with you. This is so much fun doing this every week. We love interacting with you guys. This has been one of our best nights, I think.
Yeah, the chat was electric tonight.
Yep. So, this weekend, JC Horn will be released on Saturday. The offensive line video will come out Sunday. If you're interested in any of those videos, please go ahead and watch them. Zora is in the chat. they changed their name. Because they knew I couldn't read it. Who do you think gets cut in the running back room if we draft one? Real quick before I hit, I just want to finish my spiel. Just, again, thank you a million, guys. Really love this. The draft is fast approaching. We're almost a month away now.
It's crazy.
So, again, if you haven't liked this live stream, subscribe to the channel. We're getting real close to 400 subscribers. As soon as we hit that, we know that we're going to give away that $50 gift card.
Let's do it.
It's for you guys because, again, you make the channel. This channel has, I mean, we can talk. We can sit here and talk, but then it's just the two of us. But when you guys join us, it's a party. And so we love that.
We want to see that swag on you guys. We want, whoever gets it, take a picture, post it on your favorite social media.
I would love that. If people posted that if they spent their $50 gift card on the Jets jersey, that would mean a lot.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
We're going to live vicariously through you guys.
Sean Bennett says, I'll bring the Pop-Tarts for the draft, I hope is what you're saying, because that shit would be
bring
dope.
Popcorn. Because when you're going to see some things you're not going to be able to forget.
Anyways, boys, love you so much. Ladies, if you're out there watching, we love you as well. Go Jets.
Jet chant. End it out.
We could just throw it on this because I'm not chanting with you. Go Jets. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys. Love you.